You must be a terrible person and not that cute. Okay, you was able to find somebody to indulge in a 2-piece spicy. It's not hard. What? Now I'm even more confused. Hello, little enzymes. Welcome back to Dacia's Digest. Today we are going to be jumping into some marriage drama. All of the information will be included in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get right into it. So, the first story says, my husband wanted a divorce until he lost his job. Am I the a-hole to follow through with filing? That is funny. My husband, 34 male, and I, 38 female, have been married for 6 years, together for 9. We have had our ups and downs, but the biggest down is how he speaks to me. I just had our son 1 year ago. When I was 10 months postpartum, he was telling me I'm fat and lazy, and all I do is take care of the baby and work. Oh, brother. When will it stop? When will it stop? It won't stop. It won't. I feel like I need to keep a tally of the amount of stories where the husband is calling his freshly postpartum wife fat or telling her that she's not doing enough to take care of herself when she literally has a baby to take care of and still has to work oftentimes. Oh, anyways, she said, as I still had baby weight on navigating new routines, work and caring for our baby and 4 other children while working 40 hours a week. Imagine. On my birthday, he demanded I not leave the house or he would divorce me. Just so happened my daughter had an appointment at UCLA for her teeth the morning of my birthday, so I took her. Needless to say, he didn't even say hello to me and slept in his game room. He has been sleeping there since. It's been 2 months. He told everyone he was divorcing me, spoke to an attorney and everything before even telling me he wanted a divorce. He told me I was not the prize. I'm almost 40 and have 4 kids, 3 who are minors. 4 kids that you gave, like, bro, these men, like the mental gymnastics that they play. Yeah, she has 4 kids that you gave her. You impregnated her with those 4 kids. Unless those were from a previous, situation, relationship. Because all she has said here is that she had their son 1 year ago. So perhaps she had, those other kids before. But even if she did, you got with her when she had the kids. So now it's a problem? He said he's the prize. He's in his prime and makes good money, and any woman would love to be in my shoes and take care of his kids. He even went as far as inviting his baby mother into the house to visit while I was out. So whose kids are these? Or does he have other kids? I'm confused. She doesn't clarify. But anyways, she said, fast forward, he loses his job and tells me to wait to move. He then starts talking nicer to me and acting different than before. I told him I was still moving out and going forward with separating because his actions did not align with someone who wanted to be with me. It feels more like I'm his only option at the moment. Now he's going around saying I'm a gold digger and I leave as soon as he loses his job. Sir, which one is it? Which one is it? Which one is it? Do you want to tout? Is it tout the word?
Tout.
Yeah. Do you want to tout around the fact that, you're in your prime, you're only 40 years old, you have a good paying job. You want to use that as a bargaining chip for dating, but then when you lose a job and quote unquote, your wife leaves you because you lose your job, now it's, she's a gold digger. So which one is it? Do you want women to consider you because of the money you make or not? Because you having a good job, you made it seem like that was like one of your redeeming qualities. So do you want that to be the reason why women seek you out or not? Make it make sense. When in reality, that wasn't even the case. You were being an a-hole to your freshly postpartum wife, making it seem like she couldn't leave the house or do anything. Obviously, she's overloaded. Obviously, you and your good paying job isn't paying good enough if she's having to take care of all of these kids, sounds like by herself, and still having to work 40 hours a week. So are you really making that much, good enough income? Anyway, she finishes, he's saying he wanted to try to make it work, but I am the one choosing to leave all his family and friends. So am I the a-hole for following through with what he initiated even after he lost his job? Not the a-hole, because he sounds like he was an a-hole. He sounds like he thought the situation was going to play out in a totally different way than it did. And then losing the job, he like, oh, well, dang, I mean, ain't nobody really gonna want me for real. My job was my only, saving grace, having a job, because you must be probably a terrible person and not that cute. Gotta be. Somebody said he's realizing that nobody wants an unemployed jackass who verbally harms his postpartum wife. Leave him and focus on creating a healthy life for yourself and your kids without his toxic behavior dragging you down. Someone responded, exactly, he's just trying to save face now. She's already been through so much. Postpartum, a new baby, 4 kids, work, and his verbal harm isn't acceptable. Leaving him is the right move for her and the kids. Somebody said the audacity of him saying that their kids are her kids and not our kids. Someone clarified she calls the baby ours and the daughter with the dentist appointment my. So it sounds like some of the kids were from a previous relationship. That's what I was starting to think too. Oh, and somebody said in another of her posts, she states that they have 2 kids each from previous relationships and they share 1 baby. So a total of 5 kids. So it sounds like they had, 2 of her kids living there, 2 of his kids living there, and then the 1 kid together. So a total of 5 kids in the house. So she taking care of kids that aren't even biologically hers on top of, that's crazy. Somebody said my daughter is almost 2 and I still have baby weight. Also, I am the dad. Somebody said she had another post. So let me see if she had anything else on this. No, nothing else. But I hope you get out of that situation because, geez. The next story, am I the a-hole for telling my in-laws we're getting divorced because my wife cheated on me since they thought I was leaving her because of her weight? I, 35 male, thought I was getting everything I ever wanted with my wife, 35 female, when we were in our late 20s. I truly love her, both when she was thin and now that she's plus-sized. She became plus-sized during her pregnancy and I was still hot for her, but she hated her new body and she felt ugly despite all my compliments. Over the years, she gained more weight and felt worse about herself. More recently, she cheated on me. She had felt so low about herself, she wanted to see if men who didn't have to love her would find her sexy. I didn't have to love her because we have a child together. I love her because she's her. We're getting a divorce and I wanted the process to be peaceful, but my in-laws, especially my mother-in-law, 57 female, were giving me hell because they thought I was this shallow jerk who was leaving his wife because she gained weight during pregnancy. I was confronted by her parents again, so I told them the truth. Now my in-laws are giving my wife hell and she's miserable. I don't want her to be miserable. I just wanted my in-laws off my case. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Now your wife, soon to be ex-wife, is double the a-hole because not only did she cheat, then she allowed you to be the villain in the story when she actually was the villain, knowing full well that she was the villain. Didn't correct her family when they're berating you or whatever. I don't even know if she knew about it, but it sounds like she did. But definitely not the a-hole. Someone said, no, you are not the a-hole. Your wife is, though. She lied to her parents about why the marriage ended. Instead of getting the therapy she obviously needs, she chose to cheat. OP responded, given how my wife's self-esteem is so low, she may honestly believe that's why we're getting divorced. She's so convinced that I'm not attracted to her anymore, and I had fallen out of love for her. No amount of evidence has been able to convince her otherwise. She don't seriously believe still believe you divorcing her because of her weight after she cheated. And if she telling you that, that's a bunch of baloney. Ain't no way. Somebody said you are not responsible if your soon-to-be ex-wife is delusional to the point of self-sabotaging her relationship. At the very least, and if I want to be kind, she needs therapy. But still not your fault. OP responded, growing up and during early adulthood, she was the prettiest girl. I think she had placed so much stock in that. She has a narrow view of how she needs to look to be pretty. The change in her looks really affected her mentally. So instead of doing something productive, if you really felt that you wanted to change your looks or it was affecting your self-esteem, you didn't feel like yourself, instead of doing things to feel more like yourself in a healthy way, you go out to see if you still got it to cheat. And for what? Okay, you were able to find somebody to be intimate with you. You was able to find somebody to indulge in a 2-piece spicy. It's not hard. Everybody's starving out here. Everybody hungry. You're going to find somebody. It's not hard. So what did we really learn from this situation, ma'am? Now you still feel like you still feel like crap about yourself, and you're about to lose your husband. I hope it was worth it. Somebody said, well, she had enough confidence to ruin your marriage, so it shouldn't come as a surprise that divorce is the consequence for cheating. OP responded, trust me, she needs help. There is no confidence. She cheated and then confessed to me, telling me it's another reason why she's not good enough for me. Even now, I don't view her as not good enough for me. Another comment, she may need help, but that help shouldn't be coming from you at this point. You need to put yourself first and worry about your next steps. OP responded, outside of communicating about our daughter, I try my hardest to avoid my soon-to-be ex. Even now, I still see my wife as the love of my life. It hurts to love her. It hurts to see. It hurts to hear her voice. Also, she's the one who filed for divorce. What? Now I'm even more confused. Somebody said, you're not the a-hole, but I'm wondering why she filed for divorce. Was or is she still involved with this person? Was telling you about the affair an excuse to justify her ending your marriage? This seems twisted. My suggestion is for you to see a therapist to work through your conflicting emotions. Be present and aware of your children's behavior and moods. Focus your love there. Be alert to the possibility of your child being emotionally manipulated against you. Support them financially, emotionally, and physically through your presence during your time with them. Be a good dad. I wish you a brighter future. OP responded, because she cheated, it further solidified in her mind that she's not good enough for me. She said she's only going to hurt me more if we stay together. She said she needs to figure out who she is. She cheated, then she confessed when I had no suspicions. Then she's filing for divorce. I loved her before. I still love her, but she is so convinced that I don't. What is going on here? Because now it sounds like OP low-key don't even want to get divorced. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is, or part of the problem, OP is a pushover. The wife probably wants something different. Couldn't figure out a way to, couldn't mess up bad enough for him to finally be like, I'm done with this, even to the point of cheating. So she went out, cheated, was like, dang, he's still not suspicious. Like, I stayed out till 7 a.m. He didn't ask any questions. I don't know if that's what she did, but it almost sounded like she wanted to get caught just so that she could precipitate the conversation of divorce. They both need help, to be honest. Update 2 days later, a tiny update. Maybe I will get criticized for this, but I still love my wife despite what happened. Yeah, you need help, bro. I would still be in love with her even if she wasn't the mother of our daughter. The original post helped me to feel less guilty, but I still needed to know how she was doing. Unless it's about our daughter, I avoid all communications with my wife. So I talked to the calmest in-law, my sister-in-law, 32 female. Extremely good news is that my wife is in therapy. Even before they learned about the cheating, her parents made her go to therapy as a condition of her continuing to stay with them. Also, the in-laws have let up on her. My sister-in-law said when she heard about the cheating, she understood immediately how this happened. She said their mom was extremely beauty obsessed and that they got very toxic ideas drilled into their heads as kids. My sister-in-law encouraged me to try to move on. That, if my wife gets better, it will take a very long time, like years or even decades. She said she also feels guilty that she wasn't there to help her sister, so she understands how I feel to some extent, the guilt part. She also said my daughter knows very little about the conflict between my wife and I, just that we're getting a divorce. I wish that someday I could give the update that my wife and I are back together again. We're happy and everything is okay again. Bro is... why, bro? He said, but my sister-in-law is right that I really need to try to move because waiting around for that will be torturous. I have to see if I can imagine living in a world where my wife isn't my wife. So he's still trying to. Oh, somebody said, dude, you need help. You need therapy to deal with this. Opie responded, I agree. At this point, I'm not sure if it's just love or if it's something broke inside of me. I can tell you, if my wife wanted to get back together tomorrow, there's a 99% chance of me saying yes. I'm not sure if that's healthy. Someone responded, it's not. Right now, you need to protect yourself and stop worrying about her. She has her family to support her. You should take this time to figure yourself out. Another person, glad she is in therapy, but you need therapy ASAP. She betrayed you in a terrible way, but you still love her and are latching on to ideas to excuse her behavior. Her history provides context and increases the need for therapy, but it's not an excuse. Healthy adults get help for their issues before they hurt others. She needs to focus on healing so she doesn't push those toxic ideas onto your kid. You need therapy to move on and help you guide your daughter and to recognize the signs of your wife pushing these toxic beliefs onto her so you can head them off before your daughter develops a poor self-image. If you reconcile with your wife, it should only happen after she has made some incredible steps towards healing and you are in a clearer mindset and healed from the betrayal. Basically, you should not want your old marriage back. You'd need to forge a new relationship entirely, if that's possible, and you shouldn't consider until after you've each had therapy individually, then did couples counseling. Bro is whipped. A lost cause. And there is no further update yet. So, the palate cleanser. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The palate cleanser for today is this video that I saw on Threads of a man. I can't pause it. Can I not pause it? It's this video I saw on Threads of a man trying to get, I think it's like a Hello Kitty like plush out of a machine at a bar. And the entire bar is watching him to the point the text on screen says everyone was giving him money to win the Hello Kitty in Buffalo Wild Wings. That's the restaurant that they're in. And he finally gets it. Everybody goes wild. It's funny. Let me play it. Oh my gosh. For anyone not watching, so finally he gets the Hello Kitty and he runs to his friends. They're like dapping him up and like hyping him up. And one of the waiters grabs the Hello Kitty from the machine and tells the guy to stand up on a chair. So he stands up on the chair. The waiter hands him the, stuffed animal or whatever. He like holds it up. And the whole restaurant is like, yeah. It's just like a stupid, funny thing. Anyway, somebody said, is it worth a lot of money or is this just a happy group vibes? But no, it's not worth a lot of money or anything. People are just, somebody said, this is the America I want to live in. Another person, biggest W for the waiter there, presenting it like the Lombardi. I don't know what the Lombardi is. Is that a sports reference? Oh yeah, it's a trophy. Oh, it's like an NFL trophy. Oh, it's a Super Bowl trophy. Oh, I feel like I should know that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.